Ladies and gentlemen, we think that the opening government has not explained to us in the context of economic tangibly how does BRI hurts the China economics and the world's economics in general, right? First of all, we're gonna tell you a few rebuttals to their cases, right? They mentioned that because of this BRI, it hurts the relationships between China's foreign policy with other neighboring countries such as Southeast Asia or Sri Lanka, right? We think that the facts that they're providing is insufficient to prove that, because we think that BRI, China government is going to create a very strategic link in between the neighboring countries from Europe, Asia, and other neighboring countries. It's not only between China and one to another country, right? It's actually an international link between all these continents that is actually going to be providing all neighboring countries some millions of additional revenue by being a manufacturer or suppliers of raw materials or the end products or the place for them to trade as well, right, ladies and gentlemen? So we think that in terms of tangible benefits, we think that the BRI itself by itself has a very lucrative benefits, ladies and gentlemen. And secondly, we think that when they say that China has been very prominent in becoming a manufacturing provider, we also think that China could also be good at becoming the logistics port or becoming distribution point for the international world, right? Because by building this BRI, right, it doesn't limit China to only relying themselves on the manufacturing industry. And we think that there's always a way for the China government to control the domestic policy in order to protect the local products not to be hurt by the globalizations of cheaper alternatives, right? High-tech opening.
Say you succeed in making logistics in these areas, who will use to consume these things that are transported, since these states are bankrupted in the very first place?
No, we think that economics works in and out, but it doesn't mean that when you are taking loans, like Indonesia is taking loans from America, doesn't mean that we also cannot consume products from other countries. Right? Economics is always a sell and buy, right? So when the China is selling us a way of transporting goods, there's always is going to be a channel for us to sell our goods as well through this distribution channel, and that is the only way for Southeast Asia to actually gain more revenue, to greater exposures in the international world, right? Compared to right now, we're having a very high utility cost when we are using an airplane or traditional mode of transportation, ladies and gentlemen. So we think that let's talk about the benefits for China itself, right? We think that first of all, the economic benefits is very prevalent. The millions of yuan going to come into the government pockets, right? Because we're going to build a lot of ports everywhere across China. We're going to consolidate all the mode of transportation from train, from road itself, and it's going to connect all the provinces in China from east to the west. And we think that when they say that this kind of investment is corrupted, it's not don't have a credibility of giving to a country that is poor or third world country. We think that there's always a check and balance between the program itself. And government is also always under public scrutiny to making sure that they are giving a credible loans for the countries that's going to give them a return, right, ladies and gentlemen. So there's always a finance minister, a finance investor as an approvers of the budget itself. Secondly, regarding the geopolitical interest, this is a very crucial benefits that the government going to gain from this BRI policy. First of all, the consolidation of internal politics. We always know that China always has a different kind of internal differences internally, right? Like for example, conflicts between Tibetan and the northern part of China, and etc. Between Sri Lanka border and etc. We think that this is a very currently a divisive status quo that can be solved by utilizing the BRI as a mode of linking all these people into united, right, ladies and gentlemen. Because when you connect them across all regions, all the distributions and the development of economies will be more distributed, and the wealth also will be more distributed, and hence the social disparity will be less, will be having less gap compared to before. And secondly, the China relationship to allies as countries, we always know, thank you, China has always been very isolated and very stand-off against Western and European allies, right? We always go with Russia or ourselves. We think that BR is actually very crucial in making sure that China becomes a superpower that is also has a bargaining chips to international relationships. Because right now we don't have international influence to actually trade with other countries. But with this BRI, China can actually throw these chips in front of them and tell them, hey, if you want to trade with me, I can give you my benefits of my logistic distribution, and you can also give me something, like for example to the Middle East, who is actually pro to United States, ladies and gentlemen. So we can actually have a better supply of oil and gas. So we think that this kind of trade benefits is very prominent in our propositions of BRI. We think that not only infrastructures, because we also talk about information flows, financial systems, and also custom clearance that can internationalize China as a whole, as a superpower. And ultimately, China renminbi or yuan will also be an international currency, because we are already we become the main trades of the central links of all trades in the international world. Of all these benefits, we beg to oppose the China Communist Party to stop pursuing BRI.